Hey, what's up, everybody? My name's Mike Murray, and I'm gonna make a video here about Week One Draftkings thoughts for the NFL prices that got released today. Today is the date. Today is Sunday, July 28th, 2019. The Draftkings Week One prices to the NFL season got released today. Like I said, I'm gonna give you a couple thoughts on what I think about it, and also some preseason NFL thoughts. Some guys that I like this year that I'm grabbing in drafts, and some just some general thoughts. First of all, I want to apologize for the video quality. This is the first time I'm making a video, so I don't have like a. I'm just using my laptop camera and the microphone in my computer. It might not come out that good, but I want to make videos and see if I like doing this before I invest in getting a higher quality camera to attach to my computer and to get like a microphone and stuff like that. So if I continue making these, I'll probably have better video quality and better audio quality in the future. But for right now, I'm just kind of testing it out. So without further ado, I want to get into Week 1 DraftKings prices. Now, first of all, I was a little surprised they released these on a Sunday. They usually release these during the week, but I'm not complaining. It is what it doesn't really matter. So the first thing that I noticed, that a lot of people noticed, was the pricing of Kyler Murray. Okay, Kyler Murray was 5,600 against the Detroit Lions Week 1. People are already saying that he's going to be heavy chalk Week 1. And I kind of have a theory in NFL GPPs that I kind of try to avoid chalkier quarterbacks. That means when a QB gets like over 12% owned, I kind of want to steer away from playing them. Now, that doesn't mean that there's never cases where a guy north of 12% owned or even up to 18% owned or 20% owned can have a good game. But generally, I'm going to look for that other quarterback that has lower ownership that can hopefully outscore him. And the other thing with Kyler Murray that's interesting is there's so many unknowns in Arizona. There's so many unknowns. I mean, part of me doesn't think that this season I just don't know if they're going to run that offense through him. A first-year head coach in the NFL, a first-year quarterback. It doesn't make a ton of sense for like Cliff Kingsbury to just totally run the offense right from the start through Kyler. I think they're going to run the offense through David Johnson. In today's NFL, if you're paying a running back the type of money that they're paying David Johnson, you might as well ride him into the ground. And if they rode him this season, it would get Kyler's feet wet. I still like Kyler Murray this year, but even in things like best ball drafts, he's going a little bit too early for me. I like guys like Jameis Winston more than I like him, and I do like Kyler. I'm not saying not to play him. There's an very interesting game. That Arizona Detroit game is a very interesting game because another element that people are going to forget about is the Patrick Peterson suspension, which I'm pretty sure the total on that game was 51.5. That's a high total, and if Patrick Peterson is not there, you could look to the Lions wide receivers like Galladay and Marvin Jones to potentially do something there. So I'm a little skeptical on Kyler. I mean, I'm probably going to steer away from playing him week 1 because I think his ownership is going to be north of 20%. I mean, I'm just totally guessing. I could be totally wrong. But the guy that I like more than Kyler Murray, that's right beneath him, is Kirk Cousins. Now, I know people don't want to play Kirk Cousins. They think the Vikings can do nothing but run the football, and that's totally fine. Because I think Kirk Cousins to Stephon Diggs is going to be a big stack this year. I think that's going to be a stack we see win a lot of money this year for people. And I think week 1 might be one of those weeks. When you look at Atlanta, man, Atlanta was one of the worst teams in the league against the pass last year. They were terrible against the run too, but that was more due to injuries and circumstance. Like I said, they had a lot. They got ravished by injuries in their front 8 last year, and they're prototypically they're not terrible against the run. They're kind of like middle of the road, I believe, efficiency wise. But last year was just an anomaly. They were just decimated from injuries, and they just weren't good on defense last year versus either. I mean, I was looking through it earlier today, and man, in the first half of last season, I mean, not so much towards the end, and I don't really remember why, but the first half or so of the season, Atlanta was getting it seems like every time Atlanta played a competent quarterback, the quarterback was throwing for 400 yards. Even Eli Manning threw for 400 yards against that defense. Yeah, Eli Manning. So that Eli Manning. Yeah. So I love Cousins to Diggs. It's right near Kyler Murray. It's right. Cousins is right beneath him. I don't think anyone's going to want to play Kirk Cousins. I think a lot of people are going to go Dalvin Cook here, which I don't hate. Dalvin Cook is. I like Dalvin Cook this year in best ball drafts. I have a good amount of Dalvin Cook, but for Week 1, I love Kirk Cousins. I think Kirk Cousins is a great play pairing with Thielen or Diggs. I like Diggs. Another receiver I like is Amari Cooper, and I'm all in on Cooper this year. I think Cooper's going to be have a nice season. I think this is, if I'm a big Amari Cooper fan, and if you are a Amari Cooper believer, this is his season to be a top 10 receiver. Okay, this is it. It's never going to set up better than it does right now. Okay? First, you get the Zeke situation where Zeke is kind of holding out from camp, the beginning of camp. I think that will all work out. I don't, he has 2 years left in his deal. I don't think he's going to pull anything crazy and not be there the first week of the season. But something with Zeke that we have to remember. Zeke, to me, the last couple seasons has been not including his rookie year, has been kind of like a notorious slow starter. He kind of seems like he comes in doesn't out of shape, doesn't take it very seriously, and doesn't take his conditioning as seriously as he did his rookie year. I mean, he looked like an effing beast his rookie year, right from the jump. I remember watching that preseason game with him at Seattle when he was truck sticking people, man, just right out the gate, man. So, Zeke is not in camp right now, and I think that really it means that this new. You remember they got a new offensive coordinator with Kellen Moore, who I believe in. I like this a lot. The things I've heard about Kellen Moore are very good. He's a very bright guy, and I believe in Kellen Moore. And I think that another QB to wide receiver combo is Dak to Amari Week 1. The Giants were, I believe, the worst team in the league last year versus number 1 wide receivers. We all know that Dak and Amari absolutely crushed man-to-man defense. They crushed it last year, and I think they should, I don't see any reason why they wouldn't do the same thing this year. I think people still are hesitant with Amari due to his past, but man, if Amari Cooper kept up the pace he was on in the second half of last season when he got to Dallas, man, he would have crushed. He would have been an absolute fantasy monster last year. I don't have the stats right in front of me, but he would have been a guy you would have wanted to draft in the first round or two if he kept up the pace he was on. Okay, now the hardest thing, and of course I should have said this already, I'm more of a GPP player. I play the Millie Maker, which some people don't like, and like a single entry type of a player. And I don't think they're all that different, guys. Guys, at the end of the day, you're trying to score the most points you possibly can. It's not rocket science. People act like this is brain surgery. The thing that it's the thing about single entry is it's so hard to get exposure to all the things you like with one team. It's so hard. It's so hard, guys. There's never a week where I just like 8 guys that fit perfectly into one lineup. That never happens, man. You have to make really tough decisions, and a lot of times, you make the right ones, and then sometimes you make the wrong ones. So, I like to do. I think early this season, I'm gonna do more GPPs, and as I get a better feel for this NFL season, I might go kind of more single entry, winner take all type of situations. But talking about things like the Millionaire Maker, guys. I think the hardest thing to do and most important part of the Millie Maker is identifying those cheap receivers who have the boom in them, man. Who have the price and the matchup and the offensive fit to have a big game, like a 25-point game. Okay, there's a lot of guys week 1 that I think could have big games that are like 4K range and below. First of all, one of the guys that I highlighted before I saw the prices that I was going to be very interested in was Deshaun Jackson. He's 4,500. Um, I'll have some exposure to him probably, but not sure about that. I think Philadelphia. The thing that scares me about this, I love the matchup. He's going to get if he lines up on he's going to get a great matchup no matter where he lines up. The Redskins secondary is just not good, and that could be a place he could have a big game in this matchup. I was kind of hoping. It's really not that bad of a price now that I think about it, but I don't know. I don't know, man. The thing about the Eagles that just worries me a little bit is it seems like Philadelphia wants to kind of. I think Philly's going to run the ball a little bit more this year. I think they want to make sure they keep their defense off the field. Wentz didn't look too hot last year. I'll have some exposure to him, but I don't know. Another guy a couple other guys I really like, DK Metcalf. Okay, reports today said that Metcalf was opening camp in the 2 wide sets. That's great news. I've been all on DK Metcalf since he went to the Seahawks. I love the fit there with his talent and skill set. I think he's going to be a beast in that offense. Not sure he's going to have a big season this year, but I eventually love him in that offense. I think it's a fantastic fit. Another guy, Antonio Callaway. I think Antonio Callaway is going to get matched up on Malcolm Butler mostly, with Beckham mostly getting matched up with Adoree Jackson. Adoree's a respectable NFL corner. I don't think he's great or anything, but he's respectable. He's pretty good. Malcolm Butler, on the other hand, is a gas can. He is just not good. He has, he can be competent at times, but the way you beat Butler is to run past him, and that's what Callaway does. In this offense that is in Cleveland is going to be an aerial offense, and I like Callaway week 1 against the Tennessee Titans. Another guy that I like, possibly, I'm not sure about this guy yet, but I possibly could like him, is Andy Isabella. I think Andy Isabella going to get a great matchup with Teez Tabor. Teez Tabor is not good. Another guy who really struggled last year. Secondary receivers, to my knowledge, I could be wrong about this, I'm pretty sure, killed Detroit last year. Okay? So he's definitely in play. Another guy, it's a revenge game. Not really, because I don't think it's much revenge here. But there's a lot of reports and a lot of videos coming out at Jacksonville camp that Chris Conley is emerging as the number 1 receiver in Jacksonville. He's going to get a matchup against his former team, the Kansas City Chiefs. Chris Conley could definitely be in play. I mean, nobody's going to play these guys. You have to be. This is why, guys, it's so important to follow this stuff closely in the summer and kind of read the buzz in camp and stuff. Sometimes it's bullcrap, sometimes it's nonsense, but sometimes it's real. And if you have a read on something, if you're on a guy, it pays to be on him before everyone else is, because you can win a lot of money. But I do like Andy Isabella. I think most people play Christian Kirk, who's about $1,000 more expensive. I do like Christian Kirk, but like I said, I want to attack Teez Tabor. Teez Tabor was not good last year. He got burned a bunch of times, and I will be having some Andy Isabella exposure. Trying to think what else. A guy I have on my team right now is Christian McCaffrey against the Rams. I'm looking at stud running backs here. It's just basically him and Ezekiel Elliott. There's Saquon Barkley up there too, but I'm not playing Saquon probably against Dallas. Dallas was a really good run defense at home last year. Not my cup of tea. The Rams missing Sue. I think the Rams defense is going to be bad this year, guys. I think we're going to be attacking the Rams defense a lot this year. I think the Rams defense is going to be not very good. Okay, David Johnson against Detroit. I don't know, guys. That could be a nice spot. 7,700. I don't think he's going to be 7,700 at the end of the season. I think he's going to be a lot. I think he's going to be close to where he used to be priced. Okay, I think that offense is going to run through him this year. So, not the best matchup, not the worst matchup. David Johnson will definitely be on some of my teams. Le'Veon Bell, not interested. Dalvin Cook is very interesting. I think the path that Dalvin Cook to have a big game would be more to run a touchdown, to catch a touchdown. I don't see him running all over a healthy Falcons defense. I'm sorry, I just don't. Sorry about that. Um, like I said, I do like Dalvin this year. I kind of like the pass attack in Atlanta through the air more than on the ground. Derrick Henry at Cleveland. That's an interesting spot. No one's. I don't think a lot of people play him, and that's a good matchup. That's it. He could definitely go off there. Carry on at Arizona. I'm all set. I'm fading Carry on this year. I know everyone with the news today that Theo Riddick got cut is jumping all over Carry on. Guys, I don't think Detroit's going to be very good this year. Sorry, I just don't. They have a brutal start to the season. Brutal start to the season, and I just don't like the situation. He's gonna be like a second round pick pretty soon. Yuck. I'm gonna pass. That could come back to blow up in my face, but guys, in fantasy football, you gotta make stands. You gotta follow your intuition. I don't have a bunch of statistics in front of me. I just don't like Carry on. Just not for me. I don't want to keep boring you guys with this, man. I mean, it's still well over a month. It's basically a month and a half away. So I'm gonna wrap the video up in a little bit here. Yeah, I just kind of made this off the cuff. I want to start making videos for people out there, trying to help them become better fantasy players. You know, maybe create a place where people can discuss strategy, plays are on, you know, plays are not on. That's a big one, you know. And you know, for today, guys, I don't want to make this video any longer. I've spoken enough. I don't need to keep. I don't need to tell you every single thought I have in this slate. It just came out today. I was very surprised to see the prices released kind of on a Sunday. Didn't think they were gonna, expecting them this week, but was pleasantly surprised when I woke up and they were released today. So guys, that's gonna be it for the video. I hope you enjoyed watching. I hope you guys subscribe. I'm trying to get some subscribers before the season starts. Maybe we can have a little community on here. Just for community people who enjoy playing daily fantasy football. And with that, take care. Have a nice night.